Welcome everyone to our daily Forex market analysis call, and this is in preparation for trading on October 20th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. Let's go on to our Forex factory here. Thursday, not a whole lot in terms of news. We had retail sales and employment numbers for the US. And coming up tomorrow, we have CPI numbers, which are inflation numbers, and core retail sales numbers for Canadian dollars. So these will be very important. Sorry, for Canada. So they'll be very important for Canadian dollar. We do have Fed Chair Yellen speaking in the evening, though, so that should not have much of an impact during the day. So just not a whole lot of stuff going on, just that. So pretty quiet. We do have existing home sales numbers for the US, but other than that, it should be fairly okay. The current account number here for Euro could have an impact on the Euro as well, so do keep that in mind. But other than that, seems pretty light in terms of news. So let's take a look here. All right, so we'll start off with Euro US dollar. Big, huge, bullish engulfing candle here, looking for a further move to the upside here. The first target would be 1.1880 level, right into there. And then further on, we are looking at this 1.1936 level. So that looks like so overall the bias is bullish for this. So let's take a look at 1 hour, see what we have. So price hasn't, well, it pulled back a little bit, but it's still looking pretty bullish here. So we could see further move into this high, which is the R1 level here into 1880, and then we are all the way up here into 1930. So this is quite bullish. It could come back pull back into the pivot point and then go up. So so this will be a good, this 1.1820 level will be a good potential long level for the Euro. Pound here, pound, we saw pound dropped. So now we are looking for further move to the downside. So based on that, we are looking for move down. Let's see. Okay, so this 3080 level, or even this 1.3020 level will be the key level here. Now, do keep in mind, last time price did reject at this level, this 3120 level. So we could have problems right here. So we do need to see a break in this before we can see a continuation move. So we could see something like that. Overall, though, I think British pound is kind of bearing the brunt of those Brexit talks, and as a result of that, we are seeing the numbers, or we are seeing it react to that. And of course, the number didn't come out, the retail sales numbers didn't come out that well today, so that had a negative impact on the British pound as well. So in terms of our 1 hour, let's take a look. So looking at the 1 hour chart, where's the 1 hour? Here we go. So this is where we are. We had a nice reaction. The trade that we took was right off of excuse me. So we had a nice, anyway, we had a nice reaction here, another nice reaction to the downside. So prices holding below this previous high, and it is holding low here. So this kind of looks like a flag pattern, and we're looking for price to continue to the downside. Again, very important that price, a few days ago, earlier in the week, price had trouble here. So it's very important that we do see a break of this level for it to continue. And then this is where we are in terms of our target. So it is holding low at the moment. So bias is to the downside. Aussie dollar here. We had a bullish close in this one, so we could see a further move to the upside. Now, again, we would be coming into this resistance at 7,900. So that's something to watch out for, because it did, again, react there previously, which means that it could react there again. So in this case, if it holds below this 7,900 level or 7,895, we could see a drop in this. But if it manages to break above, then we are looking for either 79.31 level or into the top of this pin, which is 79.50 level. So here we are in terms of our 1 hour chart. So this one does not look as bullish as the euro does. So New Zealand dollar had a negative, yesterday had a big drop, or today had a big drop, and as a result of this, Aussie hasn't really done much. It dropped and has pulled back today, so not a whole lot of big move or anything like that. So overall, it's still making lower highs here, so it hasn't gone to test it, but it could do that. So we could get this double top type of thing. So that's something to watch out for. That could be a good potential short, but if it breaks to the upside, then we are looking for a further move up. So in this case, the bias is bullish, but again, I'd watch out for the 0.7895 level. As long as it stays below that, we're looking for a move to the downside. Otherwise, we're looking for a move up. New Zealand dollar still continuing to the downside. So for the New Zealand dollar, there were elections in New Zealand, and they elected a new prime minister. As a result of that, huge drop here. We did talk about New Zealand being weak yesterday, but this is not what I had in mind. I was thinking it will do a test of this 71.20 and then further into 70.50, but this has broken through and looks like it's still bearish. It has that bearish bias to it. So we're looking for further move down into 69.60 level. So this will be the target here. Excuse me. Looking at 1 hour, we can see it's already taking off. So if this keeps dropping, it could drag the Aussie with it as well. So just keep that in mind. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD had a small move. It doesn't look it's more like a pullback. So the bias here is still to the downside. And this is where the commodity currencies are not aligned at the moment. They're all moving in their own directions. So just be mindful of that, and they could have an impact on each other. Now, if the data comes out positive tomorrow, we're likely to see, for the Canadian dollar, we're likely to see a drop in this. For now, what this looks like is, so we had a move here. We have double top, pullback. This is a type of move that this is projecting at the moment. So bias is still to the downside on this. First target, 124.30 level. And then we're looking into this 1.2400 level. So that will be the target here, 12400. And if you look at 1 hour, this is where we are. It could go back and test this level again. But for now, it's just pulling back. Now, I would more say the bias would be bearish to neutral, because if things kind of change, this could get pushed up as well. But for now, overall, this looks like it wants to come down. Okay, euro pound. We had a big move to the upside here. The bias is bullish on this. The next target here is 0.9033. It could pull back into this level though, and we could see something like this. Excuse me, either into the pivot point here and then move to the upside, or back into this 89.70 level and then a move to the upside. So both of those would be something to watch out for. For now though, it is quite bullish. It consolidated here, looked like it wanted to bounce down, but then it turned around and held above this R2 level. So now it is bullish, so looking for a pullback and then a further move to the upside. Euro Swiss franc, very bullish. but we are into this resistance that we haven't been at for a couple of months here now. So important support and resistance level. Price rejected it, dropped, but then pulled back and closed high again. So critical level to watch out for 1.1580 level. Overall, the trend is to the upside, but again, we are dealing with major support resistance levels. So this one is more neutral. So this is neutral to bullish, but I would keep an eye on that 1.1580 level. If it doesn't break above that, then we are looking for a move to the downside, and the target in that case would be this right here, 1.1520 level. But if it breaks above 1580, then the next target is 1620, which is a pretty important high over here. And in that case, we would be looking for a double top type of opportunity, but not yet. Pound Swiss franc, big bearish move to the downside. And for this, now we are looking for a further move to the downside. The target would be 127.80 level here. Let's take a quick look here. Big drop here, and then continuation. Now we are just sitting low, holding low, so this could move to the downside. In terms of pullbacks, it could do one of these and then do that. So that would be a nice trade as well if we do get an opportunity and it pulls back and we get an opportunity to trade it. This is an important support and resistance level. See how price reacted here, push back up from here. Now we could see the same type of trade here as well. So bias is to the downside. Dollar Swiss franc, bearish move, looking for further move to the downside into this 97.30 level. So this is a big bearish engulfing pattern, so looking for further follow through. This is again bearish. We're looking for further move to the downside, 146.97, so about 147.00 would be the target here to the downside. It could go further into this level here, which is 146.65. So the first target would be 147.00 and then 146.57 to the downside here. Euro yen, very bullish. So the bias is still bullish, but if all the other yen crosses start to drop, this could follow suit as well. We are into this level here. See this support and resistance. So if price has trouble with this, it could drop from there. So we'd have to keep an eye on other yen crosses and see what the others are doing. And based on that, see how it had dropped from there. So we could see another drop from there. But for now, this does look bullish. And in that case, first thing we need to see before we turn bullish on this would be a break like that. So I wouldn't be willing to take a long trade just yet. It has to go on the other side, hold on the other side, and then follow through. But keep in mind, we are into important support and resistance. Aussie yen here. Aussie yen, a fairly neutral close, and because of that, so if Aussie starts to drop, this could drop here as well. In terms of our support resistance level, this is kind of where it is. So it could drop from here, or it could go and test the highs, or could do this head and shoulders type of thing here. So all of these would be valid levels for it to drop from. So 88.80 looks like a good level, or a test of 8900 could provide us an opportunity as well. But overall, this does not look that bullish just because there's a big pin on the upside. So I would be looking for more for the short opportunities than the long opportunities in this one. Dollar yen. Dollar yen had a nice drop, so looking for a follow through to the downside. 112.20 or 112.12 would be the target to the downside in this one. Euro Aussie, it is pushing up at the moment, not a big move, but nonetheless it is bullish, so looking for a further move to the upside. Target still is this 1.5073 level, and then above that we are looking into this 1.5120 level, but may not be the best one to trade because it doesn't really have much of a bullishness to it. This one here looks bearish. We could see price go and test this level once again and then drop. So so overall bias here is bullish, but the daily candle close is bearish. So that's why this is the type of move I would be looking at. But this one here, we do have news. So keep that in mind. So we have a drop. We could pull back into this pivot point and drop, or we could pull back into this 90.45 level and then drop from there. So we had move up, now we are dropping, so pull back, another drop is sort of what I'm thinking here for CAD yen. Aussie New Zealand dollar looking very, very bullish. We could excuse me, we could see further continuation to the upside as long as New Zealand dollar is weak. This could continue on higher. This is a huge move for New Zealand dollar. So having said that, at some point when we have such inefficient moves, we saw this with elections when Trump won the elections, or when Hillary lost, we had a big reaction then. Then when Trump won and he did his speech, it kind of went around in the opposite direction. So we could see similar scenario here, but we're not ready to turn, or the price is not ready to turn just yet. So when something goes up in such an inefficient way, a lot of times we will get, price comes and fills this inefficiency, but I wouldn't be willing to short this just yet. We want to see price kind of come back and hold below these lows here, and then price will start to come down. But for now, I think we may just have to wait. Okay, that's all I have. Any questions or anything to add? Okay, if not, we will call it